So the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 271 just released literally a few hours ago, and with it came the ending to the series. And honestly, there is a lot of disappointment with the ending, but there are also some good points to it. As far as manga endings go, this is not the most terrible one. To me, the number one main issue with Jujutsu Kaisen's ending is that, yeah, it was pretty obviously rushed. There were at least 3 or 4 plot points that could have been explored, and we could have had like 2 more arcs that basically finishing up all of these stories. 2 main ones being, well, Sukuna's entire backstory, and the other one being Kenjaku's ultimate plan. Okay, it was set up that Kenjaku has this plan that he's been working on for thousands of years, and we just kind of never saw it come to fruition. And for that Kenjaku's plan to kind of, not feel wasted, all we realistically needed was like 5 more chapters. But now there's this one huge thing that I will have to say is, I completely understand Gege for not wanting to do this series anymore. Honestly, with how cancerous this community has become around JJK, especially the JJK manga leaks, I get it. I get him. I get it that he couldn't, he was like, I have 3 more in me. 3 more in me. Series is over. It's done. But it's unfortunate, because that same thing actually did happen to Sui Ishida, the author who wrote Tokyo Ghoul. That manga was extremely popular when it was releasing, and he just couldn't handle it anymore. It was like, I'm done. Too many expectations. I already made a banger. Let's pack it up. But yeah, although I do say that this ending of Jujutsu Kaisen is rushed, at least the thematics and the main point of the series is closed and finished. To explain that, let me show you something. As you can see, I own basically all the current Jujutsu Kaisen English volumes. Yeah, I know I'm missing if I move all my here. Thank you. You can see I'm kind of missing a couple of ones, and my last couple of orders are already ordered. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I am a fan of the series. I read the series, because when you just look at the ending from thematic standpoint, yeah, it's good. Like, all the themes have been wrapped up, and Gojo's dream of creating a better society where more individuals are carrying on his will and not just him, it works. It's completed, and we even get to see Gojo in a flashback talking to Yuji about it, and actually getting a confirmation that, yeah, Yuji did switch training with Gojo, which is awesome. But then again, that leads me to another point with the series in general. Why couldn't we get to see it? Like, why couldn't we get to see Gojo actually training with the students, but instead we just got him, oh, he's back, bang, flash forward to the Sukuna fight, that's it. Because while I was reading these 3 chapters that were coming, the last 3 chapters that were coming out, I constantly thought, okay, this is kind of boring. Let's see, maybe the final chapter, maybe it's setting up some big plot twists that they're in the Infinite Tsukuyomi type stuff, and they will get a sequel series and all of that. But unfortunately, yeah, nothing happened. But then again, when I looked back at it and kind of wanted to see, like, okay, what did the author try to say? You get to see, yeah, these last few chapters, of course, some of them is just like telling us, okay, this is how the world is gonna work, this is what's gonna happen, this is what still will happen. And the problem that comes from that is, well, yeah, we don't know how it comes, because currently there's like basically 2 types of manga endings. One manga ending is like how Naruto, Bleach and all of them did it back in the day. Basically you have the series, and when the final chapter comes, there's only one final chapter that is like a flash forward 10-15 years in the future, and just see like everybody ends up. Pretty nice. But the problem with that is it was an abrupt transition between like the latest, the final arc and then the final chapter. Now in the recent times, final chapters are handled is, like with My Hero Academia and now Jujutsu Kaisen, they get a couple of epilogue chapters that, the ending gets a bit more easier to digest, but I still haven't seen like both of them do kind of together correctly. My Hero Academia almost did it, but My Hero Academia had kind of a different problem. It flashed forward to the future, but then even still didn't give us like definitive answers. And that's kind of a problem with JJK, because although thematically we know that, like, yeah, Gojo's ideology won over Sukuna's, the students have become stronger and independent and will surpass Gojo in the future, and they in turn will create a brighter Jujutsu society. We can see that where in the final, well, I guess, epilogue arc, the first years Yuji, Megumi, Nobara were tracking this curse user, and before this curse user would be like, executed, get off with him. But now you see that Yuji, taking Gojo's words to heart, is extending his hand and inviting him to Jujutsu Society to actually be a better person. So yeah, this ending is hopeful. But then again, you see that there's Sukuna in this chapter. The Sukuna in the chapter is kind of just randomly has motivation now. Oh man, I need to sit down for this. So yeah, I can already tell that there's gonna be drama and arguments if this ending is good or not. I will keep my stance that this is a very mid ending, because ending itself is kind of good, okay, but because the series in general was very rushed, it kind of left the ending also feel a bit rushed. Now honestly, this does leave a room open for a sequel, which will never happen. Why? Because last chapter, I think it was Gege, right, his hater, that said like, oh, there's gonna be a special announcement in the last chapter, and the special announcement is that the final 2 volumes will release on the same date. So yeah, even the volume release is being rushed, so that's just mind-boggling. I feel really sad because Jujutsu Kaisen is one of my favorite series, or at least it was, and it's one of those series where I hope it's just never going to happen, but I hope that the anime will actually come to Gege like, hey, can we expand on this and just like give us more of this stuff that we wanted? Because honestly, you can put a whole arc in between when Megumi went to sleep and when he woke up in the, like, I think chapter 268. You can have a whole arc, nobody would bat an eye. Maybe we can get a Kenjaku fight then, you know, everybody was just like, hey yo, Megumi, you slept, you know. And another reason why I know there's not gonna be another Jujutsu Kaisen sequel, unfortunately, is because, well, in the last chapter, the editor says like, look forward to Gege Akutami's next work, and they usually don't say that if there is gonna be a sequel. Now, he could pull a Naruto's Kishimoto and be like, okay, I'm gonna make a new series. Dang, the series kind of failed, let's go back to the sequel. But then again, Boruto was already airing as Kishimoto's Samurai 8 was airing. I'm just really disappointed how this ending turned out. Again, I wouldn't call it shit, bad, terrible, it's just terribly disappointing. Which in its own way is kind of worse. So yeah, it looks like the hidden meaning behind Jujutsu Kaisen's manga ending was the reason the manga ending was shit was because of the fans. The whole point of the series is like, we have to make a better Jujutsu society that doesn't throw all of its burden onto the shoulders of one person and leave it to the future generations to make it better. So every generation should just try to leave a better thing behind for the future generations. And what happened in Jujutsu Kaisen? Well, the community was so toxic that pretty obviously the writer had to be like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. The lesson we should all take away from this ending is that being a toxic community is not okay, and we should actually celebrate the authors that we love, actually support their works so that they can continue bringing us awesome stories and not put them down over every single little inconvenience that we don't like about the series that they're making. And we actually already started to see that fruit kind of bear true, because the biggest Jujutsu Kaisen leak channel on Twitter basically said, yeah, I'm not gonna do any more leaks because that turned the community really toxic. And I agree, and you know, it takes a real big person to like step away from like that kind of huge engagement, because that person got a lot of engagements on Twitter. Hope the fan base and people, the manga anime community, will learn its lesson to actually kind of celebrate people more and not to put them down as much. It's okay to voice your opinions and to, like, you know, try say if you don't like something, but not in the form that Jujutsu Kaisen's community was toxic. So yeah, I am looking forward to Gege's new work, and I'm looking forward to also finding a new manga to read, because everything seems to be ending. So yeah, what about you? Did you like the Jujutsu Kaisen ending? Did you just blindly hate it, or have you managed to like see some thematics come to a close and maybe the ending spoke to your heart? As always, put your thoughts in the comments down below, and see you in the next video.